Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends. I'm delighted to welcome you on JCB Live. Tonight, I'm with a fabulous, extraordinary lady who lives and has her beautiful manufacture, her chocolate making facility at the famous Calistoga depot, built in 1868 by Sam Brannan. Amazing history, and we're going to talk about it. But now I'm delighted to introduce you to Robbie Schmidt. She's one of the finest chocolate maker California has ever seen. A true entrepreneur. From multiple serial success, she elected to be true to her beliefs of fine foods, incredible chocolate, the terroir of Napa Valley, establish herself in one of those great cars, and build her earth and sky fantastic chocolat. So I cannot wait. It's the first time we're going to dive into the chocolate up valley in the heart of Calistoga. So you can see this is the car. There's 6 of them. I'm going to knock, and hopefully, this bottle of wine of JCB 69 would be filled with the treasures of Robbie. Bonjour!
Bonjour!
Dear friends, look at the magnificent, charming Robbie. There she is, and we're gonna push.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! You see, I got intimidated by her charm, her beauty, and of course, her great style.
We'll wait till these bubbles get inside me.
Ooh la la! Woo-hoo! Robbie, we're delighted to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on your show, and welcome to your train car.
Well, it's your train car. So what is exciting, Robbie, in life is when we do a toast in the eyes, we got to drink. If not, we've been told, is 7 years with no chocolate. We don't want that to happen.
Let's have a repeat.
Ooh.
Cheers.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it's a nice warm day in Calistoga, and it is amazing. Beautiful.
And would it go well with one of your chocolate?
I think it would. The fact that it's a sparkling rosé, I have just the chocolate for it.
Woo! And the fact that it's 69, is it going to help?
It's absolutely going to help. You know, cacao is been known to be an aphrodisiac. So, who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen in the car? So, Robbie, we're delighted. We are here in the train station, in the depot, in the terminus of the 1860s. Tell us about why Calistoga for you, and why Calistoga to make chocolate, because this is quite a historical town.
Well, personally, the Napa Valley as a whole really spoke to me. Visiting from Hawaii, my husband and I in 2000 came to Yountville, and Napa Valley is just so intimate, and it felt like home instantly. And so we were going to live in San Francisco, but once we got into the valley, it was just there was no leaving.
It's amazing because Robbie and her husband Michael at that time had a very successful business in book publishing, and so you did that, and you had success. And then, why did you actually come to the wine country?
Well, we in Hawaii, you're kind of limited on what you can do, and it's based a lot on tourism. Michael's family has a long history in Hawaii, and I'm actually a descendant. My mother's Hawaiian, and so the importance of where we were going to land was going to be based on kind of a small town warm feeling. And when we arrived in Yountville to visit his grandparents, it was just so charming, and it was so warm. I can't stop saying intimate because the valley feels that way to me. And
you're very much into energy yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I just feel like we all project an energy, which then carries on quantum physics wise.
That's right.
And
it's exponential.
And it's and we're all so powerful in what we portray. And I don't know, you probably know the movie, but a long time ago there was a movie Like Water for Chocolate.
Ooh.
Yes.
That sounds like something I need to see.
You have to see it, because what it demonstrates is the passion that goes into food.
Yes.
Is projected into the recipient of the food. And
I believe in that.
I don't want to give it away, but if there's a lot of love gone into the food, then everybody feels the love of the food.
Well, that's what I feel
vice versa.
That's how I feel with your chocolate.
Well, that's the point.
You're going to see, dear friends, you're going to be very jealous. You're going to call Robbie tomorrow at Earth and Sky, and you're going to say, send me boxes and boxes. Specifically, now we know it's an aphrodisiac. So now, Robbie, you establish your family, your business. You sold your successful company in the book world. And then you decided to be in Calistoga. Why is that? Why Calistoga?
Well, the former owner of the chocolate company, they were based here.
Okay.
And I spent very little time here in Calistoga. But once I got here, my father is an old cowboy. And so it really felt like a charming Western, like historical village per se.
Yes.
And it still feels that way. And
that's the cool part of it.
Yeah.
It kept that very easiness of an old town in the West.
Yeah, yeah. And you get Napa, you get the sophistication of Yountville, you get St. Helena, who, it feels more family oriented. There's a lot more population there, infrastructure. And then you get here and you're just at the tip of the valley where the Mayacamas Mountains and the Palisades Mountains meet up, and the geothermal water hot springs that pretty much historically put this little town on the map. It's just full of energy.
Yes.
That from the elements of the water and the mountain ranges, and it's just it's magical, when you get up here and you spend time up here. And
the energy is so positive. I feel and hope all of you, dear friends, feel it as much as I do. The energy next to Robbie is fantastic. She's magnetic. And I'm dying to enter into this car full of chocolate. I want to leak.
Oh my.
This is the chocolate car of Calistoga. Did you see what I did? The chocolate car, believe it or not, is made out of chocolate. And you all will come, you leak the car, and the door suddenly opens. Shall we see your world?
We shall.
Because we want to learn more. But, she's making me starve. Because bubble is good, I finished my glass, but it's not enough without chocolate.
Okay, let's go in, adventure in.
We want you to tell us why Calistoga is great for chocolate and how you make chocolate, because in this world, artisan chocolate maker is really the way to go.
Yeah. It's my hand touches nearly every single piece of chocolate. And
I know Dylan wishes he was right there. He's being jealous right now. Yeah. He's a naughty boy.
Well, don't worry. After the show, I got you, Dylan.
Ooh, that's an invitation.
Well, let's go
in.
Yeah.
So, dear friends, we're actually going into the train car. And this is where Robbie has established a beautiful chocolate-making fabulous facility. Let's go. We made it inside, dear friends. Look at where we are. This is literally the Vatican of chocolate, of pleasures. The smell is extraordinary. So, Robbie, you were explaining to us why Calistoga. You love the peacefulness, the fabulous feel, the spirit. Your soul is rested. The vibrations are right. Why Calistoga for chocolate? Why is it so great for it?
Well, all of the natural elements offered here in Calistoga, plus, I mean, obviously the water is very famous. Calistoga water is, one of the oldest brands. But in general, the area is really well known for the positive energy that is comes from the not only the natural feel of Napa Valley in general, but here in the foothills of the Mayacamas Mountains and the Palisade Mountains is a natural geothermal energetic hot springs, and that energy just if you are one to harness it, then you are one to project it in everything that you're doing.
So I'm harnessing it, and now I'm projecting it.
And you're going to be harnessing it when you eat my chocolates, because the energy goes into my chocolates. And like any other, I wouldn't put myself in the category of world famous chef.
Why not?
However,
I think you're world famous chocolatier.
Thank you. However, the amount of work that goes into each of my bonbons, whether it's a ganache or a caramel or your favorite marshmallows, or there is just whether it be the water or the energy that goes into it. What I want is for the energy that I harness from the environment goes into my chocolates and goes into you.
Well, thank you. And you've always been a chef, Robbie, as well, right?
Well,
you've always enjoyed cooking in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I fantasized about having a restaurant sometime in my life. But after learning about the work that goes into a restaurant, I limiting it to chocolates and
well, we could imagine in Napa Valley a chocolate restaurant where it's only based on chocolate.
We could.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, the Mayans used it in recipes, and
it was a divine beverage at the time, huh? So rare.
Yes, and it was only for the god. It was a beverage of the gods, and as you know, cacao back in the late 19th century was actually used as a currency.
That's right.
To buy food and other goods.
1 bean, 2 beans.
Right. Is that a euro? Is that a dollar? Which one has the most value today? We'll go with that.
Good question. So, Robbie, not to interrupt you on that history, we need to go back to it.
Yes.
But I cannot resist.
Okay.
I mean, I'm looking at your eyes in the chocolate and I feel the energy coming out.
Great.
So, which one would you pair with bubbles? Because what is so exciting, really, is chocolate goes very well with obviously champagne and sparkling wine, dessert wine, and red wine. Yes. So now we're starting with the JCB 69, which is, of course, our iconic, flamboyant, and sensual.
Well, what I'm going to recommend today for this, being a rosé, is my raspberry rose. It's going to have a finishing.
Can I feed it to you?
Sure.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Ooh la la.
Oh.
Or you got, of course.
Of course.
Oh, look, dear friends. So explain how you do this amazing layer, because I love how you layer it and you feel on the top end of your palate, beautiful raspberry. You have a feeling that you're going into the fruit itself. And then you have this phenomenal richness and volume of sensuality that comes with it, and then the bubbles. So how do you make that?
Well, it's really a combination, and learning the craft, I learned that there's a lot of chemistry involved. It has to be the right balance of sugar, fat, the flavor that you're getting, and then the combination of the various amounts of chocolate you're using, whether it's a 75%, which is pretty dark, or if it's a 64%, or a combination of the two. You're like a mad scientist in here when you're developing recipes.
So cool.
Because if it's the palate if it's a little bit too dry with the higher level of chocolate, higher percentage, then you're going to add a little bit more of the less, the more creamy.
That's right.
And then, it could be 4 recipes, it could be 5 recipes. You could be pulling your hair out like a mad scientist.
Well, luckily they're still on your head and beautiful. So, Robbie, maybe a personal question. A lot of our friends, after the 2 years we've lived, are wondering, do I want to do the same thing? Shall I continue my life the way I've been living it? You really, after your successful business you sold, you must have thought, what do I do? How do you make such a transition from book publishing to chocolate making and become such an expert? And finally, what's your advice to all of us who want to make a shift?
Well, courage and belief in yourself is the key, and knowing yourself well enough to not to fear change.
Yes.
Most of us fear change, and it's not something that I've had much in my life, so I've gone through a lot of change. And so even though I was in publishing for 18 years, I worked on different I worked in different departments of the publishing realm, where I started with acquiring projects, and then I went into publicity and marketing, and then I went into trade shows, and so
you've evolved there.
Even in the publishing world, I stepped in, as you know, as an entrepreneur and having numerous staff. When you're growing, your best assets in your employees are those who can evolve and learn other things, and not be pigeonholed into one role. And when you have that type of a personality, your possibilities are endless.
That's right.
And so when I was for the last few years in publishing, I was waiting for my next adventure opportunity to present itself.
Yes.
And so when the owners came to my husband and I, because we bought and sold small businesses, to help them sell the business, I came in simply to do due diligence. And it was a busy time, and I said, I'm happy to help. And I got in there, and that was it. One day driving to publishing, I said, I think I want to buy it.
I love it.
And so...
And you did.
My husband said, if you think you want to buy it, let's get it. And so, as of March 1st last year, I own this business. Thank you. However, the world shut down at that time, which gave me a lot of opportunity
to perfect your palate,
to be in here working with chef and just like getting it right, and having, a year and a half internship.
And your passion was already chocolate, obviously.
Yeah.
You loved it.
Yes. I love it, but I don't love all chocolate. When I moved to Germany in the early 90s,
yes,
I wasn't a huge chocolate fan before that. When I tried the European chocolates, they were so different than what we were getting in the U.S. as children, that it was game changing. Just the quality of the Swiss and Belgian and French, and all of the European chocolates were just, even the grocery store candy bars were just so over the top more quality than what we had available to us. Then
so you became seduced at the time.
I did, and then you know, those were the only chocolates I ever wanted to have. So I only gravitated to quality chocolates after that.
And now here we are, you're the one changing the world on the taste of chocolate.
One chocolate at a time.
Well, so this is your fabulous place where you actually make the chocolate.
It is.
In a Calistoga railroad car.
Absolutely.
And why not, I guess?
Well, when you'd be surprised that, you know, my entire manufacturing is in this train car, and it goes quite far back, and I've got a lot of equipment in there that is going to allow me
to create beautiful
yeah,
chocolate. So, dear friends, we're going to walk the manufacturing process in a moment, but before that, we're going to taste, and we're going to keep talking, because before you see, we have to tell you how good it is. So patience is going to be the most important. So, Robbie, you were mentioning the history of chocolate. What fascinates you the most with chocolate?
Well, you know, trying to be a health conscious individual and also a spiritual individual, just the history of the chocolate was medicinal,
Yes.
as well as seductive, as well as just it's just it.
That's what you want. That's it all.
Basically.
Very attractive.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And it was just, you know, it was just so culturally embedded in those tribes who used
The Aztec, the Mayans.
Yeah.
You were
in
mentioning
Mexico.
3,600 years ago. So when we think chocolate is new, it's been around for some time.
Well, yeah, because the Aztecs in Mexico and the Mayans in South America, I mean, the history follows them most closely as having cacao ceremonial purposes. And then the Spanish came in.
Yes.
And then the Spanish added the sugar and the creams to make it more palatable. And then the Spanish took it back to Europe, and then it spread throughout Europe. So to me, it's just like the tribal element, and the way it, you know, it to this day, it's a delicacy. You know, you can go. There's a lot of chocolates out there, but when you have one of my chocolates,
I want another one.
You know that not all chocolates
Well,
are made the
I'm
same.
going to have a toast to that.
Let's have a toast to that.
So we're tasting Chateau Buena Vista or Buena Vista Winery because there's big news. And we're going to be telling you, friends, a lot about it, and certainly invite you many, many times on First Street in Napa Valley. So what are we going to be doing between Buena Vista and Earth and Sky?
Well, we are going to be creating.
I know. You see, she's learning her lesson.
I know.
She knows it's about time to drink. If not, it's 7 years of bad
Sex.
Oh, you said it. This is maybe the rule of Napa Valley, but I would say 7 years of no chocolate. That would be the biggest punishment. You have chocolate every day, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I do. I don't eat a lot of it, but I sample.
Of course.
Every recipe I make, I sample it, but it's like a little tiny bit, just to make sure that the balance is there, that the texture is there. And then once it's a go, if it's not a go, all my friends eat it. And if it's a go, then it gets piped into all of these beautiful shells.
And you could see, Dylan, you're going to show the beautiful, fabulous profile of Robbie. She's a big athlete, dear friend. She's running around the world. So you're preparing for a big deal.
Well, yeah, Saturday actually.
Yeah.
Big Sur half marathon. It's a
Can
trail run. So.
But you do marathon too.
Yeah, early December, I have the Honolulu Marathon. We go back home.
Which is unbelievable. I was one time there when it was happening. It's incredible, the athletic abilities with the weather conditions of what you could do for 41 kilometers. So that's where all the chocolate goes.
Yes, it
But
does.
is chocolate fattening or not really?
Well, I'm gonna say no, unless you're gonna eat that entire tray of chocolate. But these, when you're eating these, it's, it's mostly quality chocolate. Okay, so I have to talk about that chocolate you just ate.
Oh!
So,
Oh!
in Napa Valley, we are very, very famous for blackberry growth. So I thought the blackberry would pair beautifully with your Buena Vista wine.
Thank you. Thank you, Robbie.
You're welcome.
I'm on my knees. Dear friends, it's almost a full orgasm. I'll save it for you, it's half. This is insane.
Thank you.
Wow. So the blackberry literally feels like a gelée. As you approach it, I put the whole piece in my mouth on my tongue in the middle. It started to explode a little bit, then irrigate the lower part, and then invade the whole chocolate. Let it melt. Horizontal. It took me down. I'm still... I'm having goosebumps of excitement. Typically, I have goosebumps for other things, that was chocolate.
Wow. Well, this one in particular, it's half pâte de fruits, blackberry pâte de fruits, and half blackberry ganache. So
it's very impressive. So, how would you say it pairs with the wonderful Cabernet
Merlot.
that we could have had, but we chose a Merlot because it's much better, of course. You know, who cares about Sideways? They didn't like Merlot. We love Merlot.
Merlot.
Don't we love Merlot?
Amazing. Cheers. It's delicious.
Hey, want to come back, dear friends? See, I get chocolate and I cannot even read the label. It was Robbie's eyes, frankly. So, Robbie, this is pretty amazing. So, tell us a little bit about, to you, what makes an amazing chocolate?
Balance. What makes anything in life amazing?
Excess.
Balance.
Excess.
Well, okay. But excess is factored into the balance.
That's right.
Okay.
In order to be excessive, we need to know what the balance is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's just, as I mentioned, it's really a balance of ingredients and the love and care that goes into it.
So, talking about love and care, you have this amazing location here at the depot, but we are together, which is a big news, dear friends. So, Buena Vista, of course, is extraordinary, is moving to Napa Valley. You know, it's opening on First Street, so we're going to be soon on First Street in Napa, the oldest building in Napa.
Yeah.
Exciting, exciting. And who is joining us because we want to be excessive with chocolate? Robbie. So, what do you think of this? And are you excited to come and open in Napa?
Well, I have to say, I am over the moon thrilled about being the chocolate experience that goes along with the Buena Vista champagne, caviar, Cabernet chocolate experience. And
the 4 C's, dear friends. Champagne, you heard it. Cabernet, caviar, and chocolate.
So
you're going to need some emergency room support after this.
No, it's a dream come true. I couldn't have wanted to expand in a more collaborative way with you and the value.
Thank you.
And the quality, and it's more about quality and integrity that makes me feel that it's a really amazing partnership downtown.
So, dear friends, it's a big scoop, and we'll have more to tell you, but all the beautiful displays you see doesn't exist in Napa, will be on First Street when you come out of the Archer or any of the great hotels you stay at. You're going to be perusing First Streets and dreaming about great wines. You're going to be tempted with fabulous chocolate. And remember, they're non-fat. So no calories in chocolate. It's just healthy. The higher you go in percentage, the more healthy it is. So look at this unbelievable display. And the idea of what we will be showing you is basically chocolate and wine. And of course caviar, but we're going to have a very structured tasting that will take you through an elevation of not what works together, but what enhance each other's phenomenal experience. So the chocolate will enhance the wine and vice versa. So we're working as well, and we'll have you call Robbie for it a caviar chocolate recipe. Can you believe that the caviar will be in the chocolate? It's going to be so sexy. You use the word sexy that when you're going to see it, your tongue will do this. And you're going to want it, and you're going to want it again. So when is that opening?
That is opening this winter.
Wow.
Yes.
Already.
December 1st.
December 1st. So dear friends, we are
1st.
a few 60-day shower away. But at the meantime, you can obviously order all the chocolate through Robbie directly at Earth and Sky. And you'll see in the chat and on the post where you can call Robbie to get the chocolate. Wherever you are in the United States, you could ship.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. I also should say that we are extensive in developing our plant-based vegan chocolate offering. And I am getting equally amounts of vegan orders online as I am regular orders because it's not readily available. And so just wanted to plug that because the fan base is growing rapidly on the vegan end.
So vegan, and why such... It's a surprise, dear friends. We cannot show you the bottle yet. So why such a great name? I mean, I cannot think of a better name. Earth and Sky as a chocolate manufacturer. I mean, that's impressive. How did you come up or, chose to really keep that great name?
Well, I kept the name because it reflects my own persona.
Yes.
And there was just no reason. It was like changing your name. Mm-hmm. There was just no reason to make any changes. And I just love the Earth and Sky.
Yes.
And apparently you love Earth and Sky
for
as
sure.
well.
Well, the earth, where it grows, the roots, the foundation,
yes.
The stability, where cacao comes, and the sky, the energy of the climate, the planets,
yes.
The magnetic power of the stars, the moon, and the sun together. I mean, wow.
Well, there's some serendipity in some of the things that we share.
For sure.
In terms of the name Earth and Sky.
Yes.
And
we'll tell you that another time, dear friends, yes. Because it's way too early to tell you all what we have
all of our going. Secrets, yes.
But now I have a secret, Robbie, for you.
Ooh.
This is, dear friends, something very historical, something you all need to have in your cellar. There's always time and a moment. Thanksgiving is coming, Christmas is coming, the fall season, the winter. This is a wine that you want to have as well with cheese. Mm-hmm. We serve it in France with foie gras. Mm-hmm. Foie gras and chocolate is insane too, as you know.
Yes, I do know.
So, Robbie, why don't you describe this wine and then the next temptation? It's not the temptation of Christ today, it's the temptation of chocolate. And this is actually the wines of the gods, the wines and the kings and the queens.
It's delicious.
There's lychee, apricot, peach, orange peel. There's depth of dry fruits, maybe a little date. Maybe.
Yeah, the orange, I could feel I feel the orange. The lychee is in the beginning when it first touches your palate. I feel the lychee. In Hawaii, I eat lychee all the time. A lot of things are that.
A little pineapple in here.
It's very Yeah, I didn't pick the pineapple caramel for this
Did
tasting.
you see what I did for you today? I took my shoes. As Robbie's from Hawaii, I had to put my pineapple shoes. Dear friends, of course, my good friend Christian Louboutin, always. We have to be consistent, but look at how fun. This is
Amazing.
smelling like pineapple too. So now,
the big reveal.
the reveal. So this is actually the wine of the gods, the kings and queens as we call it. This is a Tokai Sul. So Buenavista, the founder, was Hungarian, Haraszti. We will have this wine at Chateau Buenavista and Earth and Sky in Napa. And we will pair it with the amazing chocolate we're about to taste. This is what we call a six putoños, as they call it. It's a process and a selection of how we make the wine that makes it so gorgeous, so unique. I mean, look, out of a perfect white, off-white shirt, look at it's gold. We call it, in the world of wine, liquid gold. Mm-hmm. For the obvious reason, it's the most expensive dessert wine besides Yquem in Sauternes in France. And this is what the French have based themselves as a philosophy of how to make wine with extreme botrytis, so overly ripe, dry grapes on the vines, and then we bring them to the winery, we press, we collect a little bit of liquid only, and it becomes the gift.
Liquid gold.
Yeah, and we should maybe one day insert in the chocolate. Mm-hmm. As you've done with the liqueur d'orange, you know, it would be really fun to just, boom.
It is so rich and silky, and it's really amazing.
This is amazing, dear friends. You're going to have it. So, Robbie, what inspires you?
Life, people, just life is just so incredible if you just embrace it, and you know, we talked earlier about energy itself, and I just feel like if you project good energy, you'll create it in people and elements that are not always positive, because it's contagious.
That's right.
And vice versa, if you're sour, that's also projects. And
yes.
So it's really about, and I know you're an energy person.
For sure.
That it's just really about living in the moment and just appreciating it and being present, and
yes.
Just doing your best to be a good humanitarian ambassador to everybody around you. I mean, that's...
Well said.
Thank you.
So, as you're going to describe your dream, ooh la la, it's the next big question. I'm going to suggest that maybe we indulge one more time.
I think so.
It's not that I want to, but if I have to.
You have to.
Oh la 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 la. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Gorgeous.
So I chose the sea salt caramel.
Okay.
To complement and to build on the experience.
I love the smell. And how do you paint them, by the way?
Well, you're gonna see in our next.
You're gonna show us the whole process.
No, you are gonna show us the whole process.
Oh! Thank you. Wow. Look at this. I'm going to put some on my nose.
Oh, no. Yes.
This is just a little caramel. So what my daughters would do is they would come and lick my nose.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not them. So I'll use this. It's all over. Yeah. So,
I mean, this is so good. I know Dylan, behind the camera, I know what he's thinking. Look at his naughty eyes. Okay. That's amazing. You're not trying it for me?
I am.
Wow.
But I want to hear what you think about it with your wine.
I think, again, the association lifts the whole experience. So the caramel marries magnificently, obviously, the six Plutonios, but the salt brings the energy and the dance. And what do I mean by the dance is elevate all the tentacles we have on our tongue to search for more and get excited. So I think it's an exciting...
It's actually quite good.
Wow, this is really, really working. And maybe before you describe your dream, Robbie, explain the process we went through or you go through when you pair wine and chocolate. Because you're so diligent. You love wine.
I do, yes.
And you love chocolate. So what do you look for?
Well, I learn about the elements of the wine, the acidity, the sweetness, the strength of the wine, and you don't want to have competing elements. You want them to like flow together where it is like a dance. It is like enhancing the experience of both versus complementing or it's really an enhancement versus anything overpowering the other or just doing it.
That's right.
For the sake of doing it. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and as you know, when we've been working on our chocolate wine pairings with you, it's we really take the wine and we drink it, which is lovely, and
I get excited.
Wow.
Hey, that's the tokasu. It gets all the energy out.
Yeah.
So, not to interrupt you, but I just did.
Sure.
For the purpose of now, are you ready for your dreams? What's your dream, Robbie?
My dream is to...
Besides winning the marathon in Honolulu.
No, there's no winning. There's just finishing. yeah. I'm not a contender. It's therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people pay therapists. I pay entry fees. It's a lot cheaper. So,
and Dylan goes to the massage parlor. But that's another way to have therapy.
Happy ending, right? I don't know. I'm sorry.
That may be pretentious for him. It's maybe wishful thinking.
So, where I want to go? Where do I want to go?
Again, dreams, huh?
Yeah. There's no limits.
Yeah.
There's no limits. It's right now, I'm in an opportunity where I can expand pretty quickly and staffing up.
Yeah.
Focusing on putting my personal focus back into where I was in publishing, where I was like trusting people to do their job, hiring right, training right, freeing myself up to go out and grow the business.
So your dream is to build a business.
Yes, absolutely.
To build Earth and Sky and to make it if you had an objective with your business, what would that be?
Premier Napa Valley chocolates. Yeah.
That's a good line. I know it's going to happen. And dear friends, we all going to come to the depot in Calistoga, enjoy Earth and Sky. We all going to go to First Streets. It's available, of course, at the Oakville groceries because we love what Robbie does. And many of our wineries to come, so we're very thrilled of this wonderful, phenomenal friendship that is going to take Earth and Sky to all your mouth. Or your body, if you decide to spread it on your body. Is that okay too?
Well...
I know it's Patrick who loves to actually say to his wife, come and eat the chocolate out of my skin. I don't know why he does that, but
Well, I could imagine why he does that.
Oh, the naughty boys. So, Robbie, big question now to you.
Yes.
As you look at the camera, you've been a very successful woman. You keep asking yourself questions. You keep going forward. In the middle of the pandemic, you start your business. You have great success. You make a supreme, phenomenal, chocolate and beyond that experiences. What's your message to everybody out there who wants to make a difference?
I would say be thoughtful about everything you do, whether it's conservation, sustainability, be quality. Take each moment like it's your last. Just be passionate about what you're doing, and don't be afraid to make changes. Don't be afraid to change. You only grow with change, and fear is debilitating. So just figure out a way to get over it, and just explore so much in life that's available to you. That's what I do.
Wow, this is a lot to think of. I hope we all take notes or replay because that's a good one. Robbie, thank you so much for showing your world. We cannot wait
Thank you so
for
much.
the openings of all the places we're going to be doing together. And thank you so much soon to open up your world to all of us to show us how you make chocolate.
My pleasure.
Dear friends, see you shortly. Earth and Sky, Robbie, the supreme chocolate maker.
Cheers.